first E swells and has just the right moment, then it wants to go to the A, right? You can't go too fast. So that's why I start counting 1. Wait, let's count the missing beats. 1 and 2 and.
I see.
Yeah, that, it's so important. The very first note of a piece is hugely important. Good. Yeah, but where do you want to lift your left hand?
At the
On the
5.
C, on the C,
first
right.
5.
To really be breathing, and you have to listen to the end of the preceding note to know when the next note comes. And better. Now where are you going to lift your left hand up?
At the E.
On the F. Yeah, make sure it's exactly lifted. Now that was good, except I wasn't sure the F was a half note. What do I mean by that? I don't mean that you didn't hold it long enough, but how you entered it.
Okay.
You had to enter it a little bit under it. Okay. Okay, good. Now lift. Off, come around. Breathe. Yeah, that was very good. Now remember that last E has to be entered slower because it's a half note. There you go. There you go. Okay, now you have to dip way down again.
Right.
Oh, do that better. Because you know what happened there? This A drowned out this A, but this A has to be soft. This has to be softer, which is hard. Maybe. Like that. Breathe. Much better. Lift. Yeah, but you want to make a break there, right? According to the phrases.
Yeah.
So it's I. Careful of that first note. A little crescendo over these. That would have been good, except you got a poke.
Yeah.
And good. Come around. Resolve. Forward. Excellent. You can see how this is so sensitive. This music is exactly. Now what I would like you to do is the next step is play only the afterbeat chords separately, like and spongily, like a sponge. So we're just going to do the left hand. We want to get the texture of the chords. So here we are on the first measure. We're counting the missing one. We're not playing the first beat. So here I'm going to do ands. 1 and. So you're going to be doing this. I'll show you what you're doing. 1 and 2 and 1 and 4 chords, subdominant. Now this is a secondary dominant. Remember I told you last week it's a dominant of C major, which is the relative major. Lean, right? And resolve it. And the third beat should be a little lighter than the second beat.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, now we're at the next measure. 1 and rest and a little more because it's subdominant and rest. Now this is a secondary dominant split in the middle with the third to the fifth. And very soft. This is just a sixth. Right, he thins it out because at the cadence he doesn't want all that heavy voicing.
Right.
That's right. Now what I want you to do, that was very good because you use a spongy wrist, right? Now what I want you to do is play the melody and just the afterbeat chords and leave out the first beat.
Okay.
Try that. But make sure this is a real 3 and. 3 and a chord and next. Make sure that's all we're doing is watch. Right?
Then we start over.
It's tricky. That first A is soft. Yeah, so you're going to be going to that. Second and third beat. Second and third is A minor. And lift. Crescendo a little. Make sure those are full quarter notes in the right and left hand. Spongy, spongy. Now you gotta be careful because these can come down. And you know what's hard about this? This hand is doing these more, you know, they're coinciding with the beats, whereas the other hand is going across horizontally. Right? So that's tricky because it's easy for this hand to make this hand start to go along with it, right? That's the hard part in that measure. So you gotta be careful that you keep listening horizontally across. Watch. Right? Watch. Right. That's a hard measure, measure 3. Okay, now one thing that's very important, extremely important, is that your quarter notes are worth 2 traveling eighth notes through them, right? Because if you let go of them too soon, we lose the dissonant harmony. Here's what I mean. Watch. This is a very important, extremely important. Watch. Keep holding. Hear that? Now here? Right. It's easy to go, which a lot of students do. So hold it through. Two eighth notes traveling through quarters. That's very good, but for one thing, these need to be more driven by wrist motion. Okay. Because you won't come, crashing down. You'll get a spongy sound.
I'm trying to keep my wrist low.
Well, even if you just did this, look. Okay. If it had flexibility, you'll get what you want. Right. It's very hard. Let's try it again. Let's listen. That's good. Back to wrist, roll through, light, under, around, that's these alone. Yeah, that's right. And then we have this. But that'll be one pedal. Ultimately, it'll be like this. Right. Okay, now what we want to do is combine everything. The downbeat. What you get from these is the fundamental bass. This is like the ground of the chord. If you did this, watch. This is what you get. Right? Listen. Right? But how would you phrase that? No, you know what's important, and most students don't know, but you need to know how the harmony is helping the melody flow. Right? Because it starts with tonic. Is this tonic? A minor? Then what is this? Subdominant is a little more. And this is a secondary dominant. This is going to be more in relation to this. And then this becomes like the 6th chord, even though it's the A minor, but you experience this going to this. It's so beautiful. And then lean again, then resolve. So that harmonic outline helps you play the melody. Totally helps you. Whenever you have dominance, you're leaning more. When you have subdominance, you're going deeper in the keys too, a little bit more. Now, one thing you have to remember. Watch.
Pedal.
No, we're not doing pedal yet, but this is important. Watch. Why is this important?
Because of the dissonance.
Yeah, we need to hear it. It's not going to be smacked, but it's part of his idea.
Okay.
You want to hear that major 9. Good. I need to hear that. Now breathe under. Again, this is important. We're passing 9th. Good. Under. Lift the 30. Match the chords though in length. Don't make one shorter than the other, right? The chords have to match each other that way. But one's lighter though. Yeah. Again, here, watch. Right? Yes. Around. Left. Resolve. Full. Okay, now watch what happens here. You want to hear all that passing tones that go through the. Now that last one, watch how I do it. Yeah, look at the spongy wrist. And Now back down. Up
Yep.
again. Okay. Deeper. Across. Now here again. Now who's that? Right. And then again, these have to be matched. Wrist, wrist, that's better. Dominant, secondary dominant. This is where it's hard because it could start going, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between? Come forward. Yeah. Again, you want to make sure, or it's right. Both notes, both eighth notes go through that dominant 7. Better. It makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference because something's missing when the left hand chords get shortchanged.
Right.
Mm-hmm.